and introduce a comedian so cheap that he had to do the cinema voice just to introduce himself for this show. Please welcome Richard Newnham. Thank you, whoever announced me onto this stage tonight. Hello, welcome to the Hijinks Unity Comedy Show, live and online. Welcome. And, I'll wait for you to sit down there. Thank you very much. And before we begin, I should just let you know that none of this is hang on. If you just chat amongst yourselves a minute, it should be fine. Just to let you know that none of this is scripted, okay? So, and actually there's another announcement. Just to announce that this is not a family show. So if you don't like swearing, fuck off. If you don't like religious jokes, God help you. And if you don't like sex jokes, blow me. Okay, so... But other than that, welcome. I should also... Hey, thank you. The other day, I should tell you that I actually spoke to my dad recently on Messenger, and he told me an old wives' tale he did. And you've heard of old wives' tales, aren't you? The classic one is, every time I don't believe in fairies, a fairy dies. Oh, there goes another one. But the one he told me was, every time you tell a pun, a bit of your hair dies. Well, that's me and Paul SD literally fucked then. But I can't help it, I really can't help it, because to me, I feel like the best jokes in life are a bit like the Invisible Man having a wank. They just come out of nowhere. And, and the thing is, I use a special shampoo now, because, the truth is, I do look more and more like the Welsh Homer Simpson every day. In fact, I use a special shampoo now. It's called Why Bother? And believe it or not, I actually tried to audition for a L'Oreal advert, but I didn't get the part, unfortunately, because it's worthless. But anyway, as I told you before, there are people online, and I gotta say that Zoom and online gigs have been a lifesaver for comedians. They have, because during the pandemic, everything was in short supply. Remember that? Everything was in short supply. Toilet rolls and I gotta tell you, jokes in short supply. There were. There were hardly any jokes around. In fact, there were none. There were no jokes around. Well, except for one, but he's running the country at the moment. But oh, thank you. Got a woo. Nice. I always welcome a woo. But and the thing is, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't a comedian. Don't know what job I'd do. Well, actually, a tell lie. A friend of mine and me considered doing a business in selling Viagra, but we faced stiff competition, unfortunately. So, but another one, I went to the job centre and they asked me, wondered if I should, work with urinals, but I think they were just taking the piss, really. And what else was there? Oh, yeah, they actually asked, would you consider being a toilet attendant? Sure, give me a Vindaloo and I'll attend any toilet you like. Thanks for the clap. But yeah, and the thing is, with online gigs, is I feel like I made a lot of friends, I have. And I should tell you about this one friend I made. Actually, an old friend of mine. He actually came out of hospital recently because he just came out from having a vasectomy. And I got to tell you, that took balls. And the time before that, he actually came out of hospital again because he had a Viagra overdose. His philosophy in life was, what doesn't kill you makes you harder. Apparently he told me an interesting thing. Apparently, he told me that somewhere in Eastern Europe, there is a vagina museum. Honest to God, a vagina museum. My first thought when I heard that was, who got invited to the big opening? But the first time I actually met this guy was in a Welsh class in school. And the teacher was about to call the register. And I saw this boy, and he was covering his head in despair. It's like, oh, God. Oh, God. So, what's the matter? I got a stupid name. What's your name? Isaac. Isaac, that's not a stupid name. The many great Isaacs. There's Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes, who sang about Shaft and chocolate salty balls, which putting those two together doesn't sound right. Or Isaac Newton, the guy with the apple and gravity. There's many great Isaacs around. Isaac's not a stupid name at all. And then the teacher called the register. Dan Mitchell. Thank you. Ben Pettit-Wade. Isaac Cox. Isaac Cox. Ben Pettit-Wade, you know Isaac Cox, don't you? Really? You look like you would know Isaac Cox. And speaking of friends, let's talk about man's best friends, dogs. I mean, any fans of dogs in the audience? Okay, any dogs in the audience tonight? Hard to tell the two apart then from those reactions there. But, yeah, I love dogs. I mean, I haven't got a dog. I got a rabbit. But honestly, don't go, oh, okay, because it's like a fucking juggernaut with long floppy ears it is, just like... You see this? Yeah, that's it on a good day. I mean, honestly, if it ever came across a badger, it would give it black eyes, it would. It's a bloody thug. But anyway, yeah, I love dogs. And my neighbour recently got a dog, and, it's so annoying. So annoying. He struts around like he owns the place. He sniffs people's backsides. He cocks his legs on you, he shags your leg, he shits on the garden, and he rolls around in this shit just to make a point of it. Honestly, I don't know how the dog puts up with him. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, but I got lots of friends and got a lot of jobs via being online, and more so, I must say, than going to the job centre. Anyone been to the job centre? You have my sympathy. And the worst ones when, they assess you. Because I have Asperger's, and they have to assess you to see whether or not you've got Asperger's. And this is the killer question. This is one to trigger your brains. Believe me, this is quite a brain teaser, this one. Can you count from 1 to 4? Jesus, start with a hard one, why don't you? Could I count from 1 to 4? Can I use my fingers? Because apparently our fingers are very good for counting with, aren't they? Okay, let's see. Okay, can I count to 1 to 4? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, I can count to 4, everybody! I can count to 4! Thank you! And so after I lost my benefits, I became a comedian. Right. But anyway, shall we get the comedians up? Because I'm, to be honest, I'm a bit tired of doing my bit, before everyone else's. In fact, tell you the truth, if Gokwan ever did a show about how tired I was, it'd be called How to Look Good Knackered. So, anyway, as I said, it's about travelling, because I love travelling. I love travelling around places, and I've learned a lot from my travels. For instance, I've learned that Essex in the east, Sussex in the south, Wessex in the west, and Norsex is sadly what I seem to be getting nowadays. So, anyway, I digress. Speaking of travelling, we're going to travel around the world tonight. We're going to travel around the world and see all of the world's most splendid talent come to you tonight. Not just live, but online as well. And thank you. And where better to start than we're going to go forward in time and towards the east to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and which is actually currently 4:10 in the morning on the 17th of June. So kudos to this comedian for staying up this early just to do this show. So kudos to them. and give a very warm welcome to Juliana Heng.
Hi everyone. Thanks, Rich. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. If you haven't been to Kuala Lumpur before, you did not miss much. We are just the Asian version of Birmingham. I told this joke at UK immigration. So now it's 4:11 a.m. in Malaysia, which means I'm already done with hangover. So I have autism. Autism happens when one part of the brain grows faster than others. For me, it's my forehead. Advertise your business here. I'm aware that I sounded like an AI robot, but don't worry. I make a good living voicing your Google Maps. In 200 meters, fuck off. I got my autism diagnosis late, at 29 years old. My doctor cannot believe that I'm autistic because I look so good. So she needed proof, which is my comedy video on YouTube. And after watching the video, she said, Juliana, you are super autistic, which means you are so autistic, you are off the spectrum. So, yes, so the thing is, nowadays when I'm doing comedy, I'm always on the lookout for my doctor because I would love her to diagnose all the comedians you'll be seeing tonight. So I can imagine her going like this. This one is autistic. This one is ADHD. This one is asshole. Because of autism, I'm a bit slow. When you all listen to jokes, you will laugh immediately. I will laugh a bit later. Tomorrow. If you aren't laughing right now, don't worry. You are just like me. This reminds me of Donald Trump. When a reporter asked him a question, he only tweeted a reply at 3 a.m. Donald was saying that the COVID-19 is the Chinese bad flu. I may be Chinese, but don't worry. You won't get the COVID-19 from me through Zoom. But because I'm autistic, you will get it tomorrow. Speaking about laughter, according to laughteronlineuniversity.com, there are 15 types of laughter, ranging from the softest to the loudest. As an autistic, I can only recognize 3 types of laughter. The first one goes like this. Ha 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 ha. This is the real laughter. The second one goes like this. It's the polite laughter, which means you suck. And I pity you. And the third type of laughter goes like this. It's the laughter of UK immigration. No immigration officer is injured in the making of this joke. We hope. I am 31 years old this year and still single. There's no joke in this. I just want to tell you, I'm still available. Dating is hard for someone like me because I cannot read social cues, emotions, and flirting signals. Sometimes I don't even know when someone wants to kiss me until I feel their tongue. My love life is a mess. I've been on 6 first dates and all of them ended the same way. They tried to sell me something. Insurance, travel membership, and a human liver. I bought the liver to resell it to my next date. Currently, I'm using an autistic dating app. Many of the people there looks very strange and bizarre, and all I need to do is to swipe up on someone I like. It's called Pokemon Go. As someone who is literal, I find dating app names complicated. For example, Tinder. I thought there is an app for smokers to look for their lighters. Grindr, I thought there is an app for guys to look for their power tools to screw each other. And Coffee Meets Bagel, I actually thought is a new food delivery app. When the guy comes, he has no food. He is the bagel. We don't have such problems in the autistic dating world. We have an autistic dating site. It has a brilliant name. It's called autisticdating.com. Because we don't fuck around when we want to fuck around. I managed to date someone on the spectrum from autisticdating.com. Do you know what happens when 2 autistic people comes together? Nothing. It's just like putting 2 pandas together. We think the same, we act the same, and we play Pokemon Go separately. Because we are the experts of social distancing. I have decided to date someone neurotypical because that way I always get to be special. So people always tell me, Juliana, you have autism. You cannot drive. That's not true. I'm a very safe driver. My maximum speed limit is only 50 miles per hour on the oncoming lane. Even better, I'm an Uber driver back home in Asian Birmingham. So Uber sent a message to my passengers informing them that I am disabled. But they did not state what kind of disability I have. Because of that, every time I drive up to my passengers, they will cancel the ride when they see me in sunglasses. Apparently, this joke kills in a room of blind people. So if you are not laughing right now, don't worry. You will get it tomorrow. I enjoy nerding out on languages. So recently, I learned Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello, how are you? Mi nombre es Juliana Heng. My name is Juliana Heng. Me encanta el himno nacional de España. I love the national anthem of Spain. Despacito, cuela respirato, cuel despacito. So I also learned Korean. Korean is a very cool language. It sounded like Kermit the Frog on Xanax. So on our first day of class, we learned 안녕하세요, 새끼야, which means, how are you, bastards? So Korean has a very weird sentence structure. In English, it's subject, verb, and object. In Korean, it's subject, object, and verb. So for example, don't smoke here. In Korean, it's yogieso, dambero, biujima, which directly translates to here, cigarette, smoke. Don't. Now I know Yoda is Korean. Okay, my alarm just went off. So before I go off, I would like to leave you all with this. Happy Pride Month! And I just started transitioning from female to asshole. Thank you so much, Diok. I'm Juliana Heng from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Oh, everyone, give a big round of applause for Juliana Heng. Oh, thank you. You're amazing. Weren't they amazing? Okay, so now we're going to take a 10-minute break. So you can go at the bar and, go to the toilet because if you need the toilet, speak now or forever hold your piss. Okay, so thank you very much. See you in 10. Your break time is up. Get your backsides into the room. I'm not a smoker. I'm Batman. Okay. Well, did you enjoy break time? Yes, I can tell. Okay, just before I begin, I forgot to mention, if you want to find out more about Juliana Heng's comedy and want to find them anywhere, you can find them at MX Juliana Heng at all platforms. Okay, with that said, shall we carry on traveling? Yes, I think so. Because I love traveling, so I learn a lot about traveling, especially in nature. In fact, do you know that bees that produce honey are called honeybees, and bees that produce milk are called boobies? Sorry, I got buzz out of that one, I did. So anyway, let's move on to the next comedian before I die of embarrassment. Okay, so we're going to travel all the way to El Paso in America. And are you excited to see who your next comedian's going to be? Yeah! Excellent. Okay, so give it up for Sarita!
Hi! I'm so excited to be here. Hello, hello, hello. I know you're confused by the backdrop. I'm originally from New York City. New York City! So this is going to be a challenge for me to speak slowly, okay? Because us New Yorkers, we say 10 words a second. Don't ask me why. We act like the city's going to like just burn up something. I don't know. And I'm like, and I'm watching the interpreter, so I'm like, oh, I'm like trying to learn sign language, while I'm sitting there trying to tell the joke, right? So we all staring at him like, but then I'm like, no, dummy, you're supposed to be talking right now. So anyway, it's hot girl summer. Where my ladies at? I mean, I can't see y'all, but where my ladies at? Right? Have you been working out? Have y'all been losing the COVID pounds? No. Don't do it. Don't do it. All this that we growing, love it. Get them belly handle rolls going, okay? Listen, because when you start dating, they gotta have something to hold on to, okay? Keep all that belly fat. And besides, the way the gym prices are, I don't want to pay no gym membership. Why? Why? No, I'm not doing it no more. Because listen, I have 4 babies, okay? So you won't get, like, you won't find out eventually. And I still look like I'm pregnant when I go out. Like, I know you can't see all of this because, you know, like the green screen going on. It looked like I got my weight control on. I'm 150 pounds, but I'm 5'3". I'm looking like a Oompa Loompa, and I'm like, listen, I'm trying to like get clothes off of Shein, and when I have to buy clothes, I'm trying to look cute, and the mannequin is not helping me, okay? I'm over there with confidence, like, oh, that outfit gonna look good on me. And I have so much confidence that instead of trying to clothes on in the store, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna get home, and I'm gonna put it on, right? Why it don't fit? Why it don't look right? Okay, like I want to be cute too in the little clothes. Okay, it's hot outside. I don't want to be sweating. Look, it's hot outside. I don't know if it's summertime where y'all at. Like, okay, look, don't come for me because I've never been to Wales. This is like my first time in Wales, so I don't know like if you guys have like the same seasons we have at the same time. So don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. But it's like really hot. It's 100 degrees out here in El Paso, Texas. Like, why? Like, what are we cooking outside? Like, all right, so it's like hot girl summer. I want to wear the bikinis. I want to wear the 2-piece, but my body won't let me be great unless I'm putting a sheet on, okay? So ladies, wear it. If you got them extra pounds, wear it. Because guess what? When you doing the thing with the guys, okay, or the girls, right? And all that sweat build up on your tummy, just take it and wipe it across his forehead and call him Simba. right? Because look, it's like dating is hard enough, but then you want me to like be a certain size, a certain weight. If you can pick me up, we're good. If I can pick you up, it's gonna be weird. So let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. And then that's not the worst part about dating for me. All right. Listen, we halfway to Christmas and I have to contend with a 12-year-old asking me if I'm getting them their new dad. What's wrong with the old one you have already? Right? And it's like dating with kids is like, okay, so have you ever showed up on a date and the guy's like, oh my gosh, what are they doing here? I'm like, kids eat free. What's the problem? Because I'm not about to pay for a babysitter. No, like we all gonna come together. We're gonna kumbaya. And listen, if you buy my kids dessert, you done made their day, right? So at the end of the night, we'll all call you daddy. Look at it. You see how that works? Like, this is so much fun. I was like, this is so great. But yes, it's like, and then, okay, listen, I tried my hand on online dating. Now that gas prices are up, and I guess it's called petrol for you, that gas prices are up. So online dating, it works, all right? But you got to be careful what website you use. Because I was on this Zoom and I saw this guy in the audience. I was like, "Ooh, look at you looking all spicy and high. How you doing?" He was like, "Hi, ma'am. How are you?" And I was like, "I'm good now." And he was like, "Welcome to science class." I was like, "Ooh, I got an anatomy for you." Yeah, I was in my daughter's sixth grade science class. So I got banned from the parent teacher conferences. I'm not allowed to go anymore. Like, why are they so picky? He's a teacher, I'm a comedian. It would have worked out. All I'm saying is don't be so picky with the dating, okay? Well, oh my goodness, like, all right. So like the worst date I've been on is when like the guy's like, can you drive me home? I'm like, no. He's like, why not? Like, role reversal is big now, you know? Like, if you asked me to drive you home, I would. And I was like, it's not that. It's just that when you're dating a single parent, the worst thing you could have is for your kids to come downstairs and come outside and roast your date. Like, oh, that's what we're doing, mom? You're dating that guy? All right. He looks like Tom Cruise. All right, without an acting career. Like, why would you roast my date like that? Or worse, you know, they come out talk about here, we offer you snacks. Stay a while. Not dating with kids. I'm not dating. Do you guys have kids? Well, of course you do. Like almost everybody has kids, right? And I'm like, but are you like me? Like, are you looking to give them up for adoption because they are expensive? Like, kids are expensive. They want video games. They want to eat 3 times a day. Like, stop it. Like, it's like the older you get, we survive off of 1 meal and alcohol. I'm not saying give the kids alcohol, but do you really need to eat so much? Like, why? You're killing me. And don't worry, it's like, okay, so over here it's like 2:30 in the afternoon and it's summer. So not only are the kids home and awake, and I'm doing a comedy show, I'm talking about them, but they don't hear me though. And if they do, I'm just gonna send them to Wales. I'm like, look, there's some people that want to meet you guys. Go over there. Have a summer trip over there. Yes, I would send my kids across the country because that's like the thing now. Like everybody's leaving America to go somewhere else and like have a good life. I personally want to go to Tahiti and get me a cabana boy. Well, of age, of course, because he's got to know how to mix my drinks. And I just want to sit on the beach and relax. Isn't that everybody's dream? Like after years of working, we owe it to ourselves to retire happy, single and happy. If you're married, good luck. I tried that once, right? And my mother-in-law was like, Mijo, you don't have to marry her because she's pregnant. 8 years later and 4 babies later, I'm like, you know what? Your mom was right. Moms know best. So yeah, I got divorced. So like that's why I'm like the dating and everything. I'm like, ooh, girl, like it is hard. And now it's like now it's like I'm an ally with the LGBTQIA. Well, look, you guys are taking too many of the alphabets, right? So like I'm a C, and it seems like for cougar, right? And the only problem with dating the younger guys is they'll ask you stupid questions like, "Hey, mom, you need to be warmed up." I'm a cougar, not a Buick. You know, or they'll ask you, "My place or yours?" Mm-mm. Definitely yours, because in the morning I want your mom to make me breakfast, and we're gonna look at your baby picture. I'm like, oh, isn't he so cute? Look at that. So I don't know how much time. I think I did my time. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to see you all again. Bye.
Wasn't she brilliant? Thank you, Sharita. Thank you. And if you want to see more of Sharita's comedy and want to find her, you can find her in, I'm probably going to butcher this, you can find her at Sharita on Facebook. You can find her at Sha1Ta at Instagram. You can find her at 5ha1ta at Twitter. Or you can find her at I'm going to spell this one, TYGYR Lily at Twitch. So there you go. And are you ready for the next comedian? Yeah! So we're going to travel a little bit more around the world to Toronto in Canada. Yeah! There are a lot of Toronto fans here tonight. Excellent. So, do you want to meet the next comedian? Yeah! Then please give a big, warm welcome to Chiron Barron.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. The only thing I know about Cardiff, I learned from one single episode of Geordie Shore. Yeah, I was gonna rewatch it last night and then like wow you with my local knowledge. But I was too tired, and that's probably for the best because that would have been rude. I'm Canadian, but both my parents were Catholics from Northern Ireland. So they grew up in the Troubles. I think calling it the Troubles is a pretty big understatement for what it actually was. But similarly, it is what I also like to call my parents' 20-year-long divorce, custody, and child support battle, which was also very violent. Growing up, my dad's favorite child was totally spoiled with fancy food, expensive toys, and weekly trips to the cottage. Never complaining about our dad's alcoholism really paid off for my dog. In addition to being Irish and Catholic and an alcoholic, my father was also a police officer, so we just called him the Stereotype for short. It's okay, he had a good sense of humor about that stuff. A few years ago, just before the pandemic started, my mom was traveling back to Ireland, and she asked me to find CBD cream for my aunt's arthritis because it's not legal there. I definitely did it. My only concern was, of course, the Irish border guards. And unfortunately, they didn't actually catch her. I think I was 6 or 7 years old when my mother told me that I was too fat for ballet classes. And I remember even back then, I was like, wow. It's too bad no one ever told you you were too cold for motherhood. When it's not a pandemic, I am a pet sitter, which means that I often get to walk puppies, which sounds so adorable, right? Yeah, actually, walking a puppy is a lot like walking a drunk person home. They zigzag all over the place. They'll try to interact with literally everyone that passes, and they may stop at any time to urinate, usually in the middle of the street. I'm actually super allergic to dogs, but their cuteness makes me override my own biology just to be around them. Very, very similarly, I find most masculinity to be toxic, but I still identify as a bisexual. Stop being so cute, men. Dogs are, of course, fine. I'm also non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. I have for, I think, at least 5 or 6 years now, but I haven't told my mother that yet. You see, like, she's very, very invested in the whole gender binary thing. So I'm going to save that disappointment for a very special occasion. Probably her death. No, just kidding. I'm not going to visit her when she's dying. My roommate moved out before the pandemic, so my partner and I have had the whole house to ourselves for a while. You know what that means. We could get freaky wherever we wanted. So we did. Yeah. I can dissociate into a traumatic flashback literally anywhere. And I did. Sorry. As a disabled person, I sometimes find really routine tasks like self-care very exhausting. So for example, yesterday I was like super exhausted after only a few hours of masturbation. Speaking of which, the handle on my new vibrator looks like almost identical to the handle on my hand blender. Yeah, I know. But now, like, I really love pureeing soup, so. By now you may have figured out that I'm crazy. You'd be correct. I studied psychology in university, and I've always thought like I would have made a great psychiatrist if I had any interest in doing it. Because I just really like love judging people silently. I have very severe social anxiety. I get like very sweaty palms, a racing heart, and an uncontrollable tremor even on the first date. It all goes away eventually, but I always think like by the time I have sex with someone, I probably seem like relatively bored. I also have PTSD, which basically means that I get horrible flashbacks and nightmares all the time, but I am Canadian, so I also get access to lots of really cool pills. It doesn't at all make up for it. My psychiatrist actually prescribed so many medications to me that before the pandemic started, I had to upgrade my pill organizer into an actual spice rack. Now I have long COVID and I take a ton of medications and supplements for all of my lovely conditions related to that. So now it's literally like a full cabinet in my house. Yeah, it's a lot. So we have this local mental health hospital here in Toronto called CAMH. And they have this fundraising and campaign every year called One Brave Night. And they suggest staying up all night to watch TV as like a way to be like a brave act of solidarity with people with mental health issues. If staying up all night watching TV is what is considered bravery, I should have a Purple Heart already. They also say that like 3 out of 4 signs of mental illness can't be seen. I always wonder, like, what signs are they talking about? And which, like, lucky, crazy motherfucker only has 4 of them? I think anyone who thinks that adult coloring books were like a recent, and I say that as like early 2000s probably, anyway, recent sort of fad, probably hasn't spent long enough time in a psych ward. Because all you do is color in mandalas here. I don't know about there, but that's all you do. I really, really hate hospitals, as you may be able to tell. But there's always one good thing that I really like about them. However you manage to leave, you're going to be going to a better place. All right, that's my time. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, Chiron Barron. Weren't they awesome? And if you want to see more of Chiron Barron's comedy and want to know where to find them, you can find them at chironically ill on Instagram or at Chiron Barron on any other platform. Now, before I release you all for break, I'd like to call up Dan Mitchell for a bit of an announcement.
Oh, I don't really go up, man. All right, it's fine.
All right.
Before I start my set later, right, I've got lots of pieces of paper and pens because I haven't written the set. And I'd like you to write any suggestions, any words, any questions you want answered. It's anonymous. Yeah. I've got pens, I've got paper. I want my pens back if you pass it. So there we are. Enjoy your break, but also get pissed, write something stupid.
Well, he said himself, get pissed, write on the paper, go to the toilet, have a break. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, everyone, make your way back to the room. Please. At some point tonight would be good. Or I could just start and wait for everyone else to turn up. I don't know. Yep. If you haven't already, if you get your written papers into the bucket there, that'd be cool. It depends what paper you've written it on. Okay, cool. We got everything here? Excellent. Okay, so everyone's coming in? Good, good. Now, when I was emceeing the show, I was wondering how to end this show I did have a few options. I mean, I was considering doing a dance or something like that. In fact, I used to be a great tap dancer, actually, until I fell down the sink. I did consider singing. I used to do a lot of singing karaoke, funny enough. I remember someone said to me, Rich, did anyone tell you have the voice of an angel? And I said, no. And they said, well, there might be a reason for that. So with those two things in mind, I thought, let's just get one more act on tonight, shall we? So now, our travel ends in Wales. We started from Wales, we've come back to Wales now. And we are going to end it, our headliner tonight, with someone who is a legend in Porters, who I've actually done this sketch show with a long, long time ago. I don't normally do in-jokes, but let's just say I'm sure he has a box full of material tonight. So, thank you. So, with that in mind, give a brilliant warm welcome to Dan Mitchell.
All right. Just to let you know, not one of these high-energy comedians. I know one of these ones go, I'm mad, I am. Because they once sat in a bath full of beans for comic relief. That's not mad. I'll tell you what is mad. Nailing your balls to a hoover. Calling yourself suck bastard. And entering yourself into robot wars. He was out in the first round. Going back next year with a Dyson. Not even a fucking table. Look, I'm an old man. Here we are. There we are. Good. Lovely. Now, I'm just going to point things out. A lot of comedians come up here with organizational skills and ability. All jokes have a beginning, a middle, and an end. All right? And sometimes they have a callback. Yeah? That's not how I work. I'll sometimes get so confused I'll do callbacks to jokes I haven't even done yet. Eggs, you know what I'm talking about. I do like to do a bit of crowd work first. I'm not one of these people who picks on people. I don't think that you should pick on people for having jobs. A lot of the time people have jobs that they don't like, but that does not make them a human being. I like to pick on people for reasons that they at least have an option in. So what I like to discuss is, what's your favourite animal? You haven't got one. I wasn't talking to you, Spotty. I was talking about his shirt, not his complexion. There we are. All right. For those online who can't see the audience, he's dressed as a snow leopard. Exactly. There we are. And I was talking to this lady here who says she hasn't got a favourite animal, so she hates all animals equally. I despise you, madam. Animals are gold. All right. Now, there's a man in a flamingo shirt. I'm going to ask him, what's your favourite animal? Cows. They are sexy, mind, aren't they? What is it about the cow that, entrances you so? The big bums. Yes, mate. All right, fair enough. They have got large backsides, there's no denying it. And they do produce a lot of shit, much like yourself. It's very good. I can see the bond. It's good. No, cows are good. Cows are good. Are you a cheese-liking man? Only cheddar. You are so limited in your cow love, mate. Honestly, you just like the arse of a cow, and that's it. Do you know what? It's all right. You've got potential. You could work your way up. All right. Okay. You, sir, with a distinct lack of hair and specs. Look, just you, mate. Just you, honestly. I haven't got a lazy eye. All right. I've got enough wrong with me. Come on. Oh. Yeah, no, I guessed that with a Z. There's not many animals that start with a Z, is there really, Zonkey. You'd have astounded me if it was a cross between a zebra and a monkey. That would have wowed me a bit. But the zonkey, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Really, they don't see many of them, do you? You're not going to get like, a version of Tiger King, but with zonkies in it, just like, because then. Excellent. What is it you liked about the zonkey? Stripy legs. Mate, just all about looks, really, isn't it, for you? That's it. You're a leg man. There we are. A striped leg man. Okay. All right, Ellen, back there. What's your favourite animal? Just a donkey. What is it with that table? All fucking mules and shit. I mean, come on. What is it about the donkey that you love, then? What? Not the arse. Don't start saying arse. What is it about the mule, the donkey? They've got charm. Do you know what? I'll tell you about donkeys, right? What they've got is good advertising, because there's constantly adverts for donkey charities. They get more money left to them in old people's wills than anything else in the world. They're raking it in. Literally, you see donkeys on the beach with gold teeth, man. Oh, God. This is the thing, right? I should tell you a little bit about myself before I go on a massive rant about everything else in the world. I'm from a tiny rural village called Brechfa. I'll try saying that one. It is small, it is picturesque, it is rural, it is dull as fuck. But it was a lovely place to grow up. But you had to sort of make your own entertainment. And I remember one day when I found a stick. And you know that feeling when you've got a really good stick and all your friends are jealous. And they go in, Dan, can I have a go with your stick? And I was like, no. No, you may not. I had a very deep voice for a 6-year-old. And he said, Dan, what are you going to do with the stick? Well, At first I thought I would wield it like a sword. Then I thought, no, I shall use it like a gun. And I thought, no, I'll dip it in shit and chase girls. I used that pulling technique for many years and was single for many years. But people used to pick on me for having glasses. Any glasses? Oh, it's just... Did you get picked on for having glasses in school? Oh, fuck you. Just trying to bond, mate, after the whole, zonky incident, but... Oh, no, well, the thing is, they used to call me things like, specky, four eyes, specs offender, that sort of thing. It all stopped one magnificent day when I was diagnosed epileptic. And then they started calling me Mr. Shake and Vac. And telling jokes like, what do you call an epileptic in the bath? A jacuzzi. And then one clever bastard combined both ailments into a handy, bite-sized insult and called me a speck-eleptic. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Nice one. It's okay. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it did just damage me mentally for many years. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over it now. Because I've got new illnesses. Yeah, I got ADHD. Yeah, I've just been diagnosed this year with ADHD. It's like, that explains a fucking lot. So if I do get distracted, right, if you don't find it funny, you're mocking my disability. And it's all on you. All right? There we are. Well, I do get distracted by things that happens. Like, that's why I said there's no linear path to this. That's why I got you to write this down. Because planning things does not fit into my brain. Honestly, I cannot do it. So the rest of my... sorry, I just remembered a time I saw a squirrel eating chips. And I was looking at him and he goes, he thinks he's a man. Just imagine what happened next. He goes to get a job. Works 9 to 5. He gets married. Has kids. Gets a mortgage. Looks out the window. Wishes he was a fucking squirrel. The irony. See, it's the squirrel you were all along. That's the one. Anyway, no. So I spend a lot of time alone, right? A lot of time alone, and I did get emotionally attached. I watched a fuckload of TV, loads of it, and I used to get emotionally attached not to TV shows. I wasn't even paying attention. It was the adverts, because you have to pay attention. They're shorter. So this is why I was talking about the donkeys and stuff, because there was one that really got to me, and it was for the Dog's Trust. I know. I love a dog. I love a dog. And there was one, and it was this tiny little puppy, and he looked up at me, into my very soul, and he said, "Hello. My name's Timmy, and I've never known love." You and me both, brother. I live in a bin. Like, you're showing off a bit there, Timmy, to be honest. if you send me £5, I'll write you a letter. Now hold on there, Timmy. You can write. And you live in a bin. Which is basically a fixed address. You could sign on, for fuck's sake. But then I thought, hang on. He's looking for love and expecting you to pay for it. Isn't that basically prostitution? So I turned over, another advert. There he was. Tony the Tiger. Selling Frosties. This thumb up like this, right? Thumb, which tigers do not have. Wearing a cravat. Tigers don't wear cravats. It's not a known thing. And he's saying, they're great. And I'm thinking, really, Tony? How the fuck do you know? You're a tiger. Tigers, like all big cats, have no sweet taste buds, which is why you'll never find a lion enjoying a pan au chocolat. However, I pushed my doubt aside and I thought, I'll give him a go. And I poured myself a bowl, put in the nice cold milk, and ate them. Do you know what? They were great. They were great. But because of, various things in my brain, I'm looking for that dopamine hit from my ADHD. I'm thinking, shall I have another one? And he's still there with his thumb out going, they're great. Well, he hasn't changed his opinion. Why should I? And I have another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And all of a sudden, you're morbidly obese. And you cannot move. This is exactly what Tony the Tiger wanted. And as you can't move, wriggling on the floor, covered in damp Frosties, he walks towards you, removes his fake thumb, and then, with his unadulterated paw, rips off his tiger mask to reveal a different tiger. Shere Khan from the Jungle Book. And you're lying there, and he's coming closer, and there's nothing you can do. All right? And he swipes and eviscerates you, and your guts are everywhere. And he's stuffing him down as the Crispy Brothers cry and weep. And Coco the Cocoa Pops monkey flings shit. And he's chewing on your guts. And he's saying, they're great. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I only eat toast. It's good. Toast is good, man. Toast. I did manage to achieve a woman. No? Yeah. Yeah. Married, got kids, got all of that. It's all good, which is why I'm here drinking. Still don't understand women, no. All right? I don't understand men either. I don't understand people. But particularly women, because I spend most of my time with one. And it's just because with me, I will say something. That's generally what I mean. All right? But generally what I mean is absolute bullshit. All right? Women will say something they do not necessarily mean and expect you to interpret it in another way. and it's not just what they say, it's what their mannerisms as well. Like, for example, you think they're getting romantic, they want to hold your hand. Yeah, and you think, oh, that's nice. It's a romantic gesture, holding my hand. There. No, their hands are fucking freezing. They are trying to suck your warmth like some sort of breasted leech. And then what they'll do to make up for it, right? They look up at you with those big wide eyes that only cold women and dog prostitutes can do. And they'll say something twee like, well, you know what they say? Cold hands, warm heart. Bollocks. Cold hands, piss poor circulation. All right, okay. But another thing you're not allowed to do is like think. I don't mean it in any derogatory. The fact is, I used to love sitting there and just thinking random thoughts. And I'd be giggling to myself, watching a wall as if it was a magic eye picture. But now, she'll sit next to me and go, what are you thinking? And you can't tell her the truth. You can't tell her you're thinking about that one time in 2004 when you found a massive crisp. Size of my palm, salt and vinegar, Walkers. She wouldn't understand. So you tell her something, she will understand. Just thinking about towels. And that's it. It's your weekend sorted. Friday night, you're looking online at towels. Saturday, you're going to the shops to buy a towel. Sunday, she regrets the towel purchase decision. And you have to take it back because she's hungover. And this is the thing about women, right? Women are just as good at getting drunk and making tits of themselves as men, but there's this certain denial that they have about how much they're allowed to drink. Like, how many drinks have you had, madam? Four, yeah? 4 glasses, yeah? That's fine. She's not lying because bottles of Lambrini are made of glass, right? So she has had 4 bottles there, she's fine. And how many pints have you had, sir? 6, there we are, see there, 6, there we are, look at that. He's had half. He's had an half. But there's something about us, because we haven't got mammoths to kill anymore. We have to prove ourselves by drinking ourselves ridiculous, eating the worst food possible, and then pissing ourselves, because that is what makes a man. But there's a way of testing how drunk a woman is, right? And it's through song. Does anyone know the song The Hustle? It goes like this. Do the hustle. Does that for about 3.5 minutes, right? Not a great song. But if you sing that song or play that song to a woman after 2 or 3 glasses, she'll go, oh, it's the hustle. Leave it at that. You play it to her after maybe 5 or 6 glasses. Do the hustle. She'll go, oh, it's the hustle. And she'll be up dancing on the dance floor. Even though there isn't a dance floor, it's a coffee shop. You play it to her after 12, 13 glasses. Do the hustle. Do the hustle. I am the fucking hustle. And she's up, dancing, kicking her legs, smashing glasses. She's been sick down herself. She's phoning her mother to say, "You've never loved me. You've got to get her out of there before the police are involved." And she kicks the security guard in the nuts. You get her into a taxi, you explain, "No, it's not sick. She just spilt stew down herself." Get her into the taxi, you get her home, you pay the taxi driver an extra 50 quid to mop up. You get her into bed, she passes out in such a manner that you cannot get into bed with her, but you can't leave her alone, so you have to lie on the cold floor. And then in the morning, she awakes. Oh. I feel bad. I don't know what happened. I only had 1 or 2 glasses. And if you don't look after her for the rest of the day, you're the prick. Like I said, my ADHD sometimes needs me. I need a dopamine hit, and by that, sometimes it's risky. Sometimes you have to just pick random pieces of paper out of a bucket and hope that you can produce some comedy gold out of it. Don't get me wrong, ADHD has fucked me over a couple of times. There has been times when I thought something's a great idea, I've acted on it, regretted it immediately because the police were involved, and left. One of these times was working with you, Ellen, actually. I'm not even entirely sure you know about this, but I remember, right, I used to work with Ellen, right, and she mentioned she particularly liked one of her hole punches. Yes! Yes! Linda! Now, what happened was this, right? I suggested to a couple of friends we'd only met a couple of days ago, wouldn't this be hilarious? Wouldn't this be hilarious if we stole, nay, kidnap, Linda a hole punch? Right, wait. So we did, with a full intent to return, but only after a couple of japes. By japes, I mean, I created a Twitter account for her. A Twitter account. I thought she was called Lynn rather than Linda, but it doesn't matter. Lynn Hole Punch is still there. But not just one. Not just one Twitter account, 2. Because the other one was called Lynn's Captor. And I thought this would be hilarious. Lynn had... Her first tweet was, "Lovely day here, chilling out with the pens." Second tweet was, "Ever get the feeling someone's following you?" And then Lynn's Captor came up with, "Hello, Lynn." And we sent a letter. Did you get the letter? Internal mail. Internal mail saying that we've kidnapped Lynn. And we were going to play this for a little longer. However, the next day at work, we saw police near your desk. And the whole thing, we bottled it. And I thought, someone's taken this threat of kidnapping a hole punch a bit too seriously. And that's why I'm now on medication. Anyway, on to your suggestions. Yeah. She's never worked since. She's had a life of luxury. She's fine. Here we go. First one. I had to get that off my chest, and this is the only opportunity. Moo, bitch. Well, we've already had a conversation about sassy cows, and there we are. I would love to see that sassy. That sounds. Is that your chat line, mate? Is it literally you go here? Moo, bitch. Show me your udder. Already, this is tying in nicely. Well done. Cold water therapy. Chuck yourself in a fucking pond. Look, mate. You do what you want, right? Honestly, cold water therapy. I've swam in seas. I've swam in rivers, largely because I can't drive to the swimming pool, the heated swimming pool. You do what you want. You swim in there where fish have shat, where otters have pissed. That's fine. Get what dysentery if you want. Enjoy it. Knock yourself out, honestly. I'm sure it's actually lovely. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's bracing. It's bracing. It's just like my wife. Like, she wants to have the hottest possible bath. So she's like filling it with boiling water. She wants to scald her skin. Some people want to freeze their skin. But you notice it's generally women. And that's not a sexist thing, but most of these cold water people love the cold water therapy, jumping in the river. It's generally women. The men are going, while you're doing that, I'm having a fry-up. And it's true. It's not sexist. It's just the truth. Jacob Rees-Mogg. You cannot get joy from some leftover from the Bash Street Kids. Oh, the Lord Snooty's best friend. Oh my God, he's an horrific, terrifying Victorian ghost who walks the earth. I'm not going to talk about him. What do you think of Shawn Mendes? Well, I mean, the writing's terrible, so they've changed their spelling of Sean, or it could be Shannon, it could be Shawumum. And then it says Q on the back, all right? Just so I know it's a question, because there's no question mark. When I think of him, I don't know who he is. Now, if someone explained to him, who's Shawn Mendes? No? He's from Toronto. There's more than 2 people from Toronto, right? I don't know them all. It was, that human being from that city in another land. Yeah, I've heard of them. Look at me. My musical taste stopped at Adamant. Literally, honestly, I'm an aged man. I don't care for, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. And even if he was, what's the matter? If you enjoy him, enjoy him. Well, you seem to know most about Shawn Mendes, right? I'm not trying to cause controversy here, but you seem to be the Wikipedia of Shawn Mendes. You're the only one who knows he's from Toronto. No one else. Does anyone know he's from Toronto? No, just you did. It was you. Ah, lovely. Double fingers. Fucking wit from you. What's that smell? Well, you know when you burp, right? And you taste egg. But you haven't had egg for weeks. I quite like that. It's like free egg. That's what it was, all right? Make a joke about Sharon Osbourne. Isn't she like, right, first of all, right, she started off her life, daughter of a music producer, got involved with Ozzy Osbourne, who was just so fucked up, brought women home into their bed. So she's been like holding on for so long to get power, and then she's become sort of acceptable, and then suddenly she becomes a massive racist, misogynist fucking twat. and says some terrible things which she can't take back, and her career is now shriveling like the balls of a man doing cold water therapy. So that's all I can say about Sharon. What's the best and worst condiment? Fucking hell. All right, the best one. I could do a fucking hour on this, all right? The best one, right? What? Oh, fucking hell. Look at this mustard expert. Right, which mustard's the best then? What, like the Coleman shit? You said no, best and worst. This is you seem to know about this. Come on. You've got to choose one if you're going to make a bold statement. Loads. Yeah, there's loads, but it asks for the best. Unless you're having it on worst. It's fine. Yeah, look, honestly, I mean, America mustard has its place, all right? That Coleman stuff has its place. Neither are the best, all right? And I'm not saying mustard is the best or the worst. I'll tell you the best. The best. You have literally just exposed yourself as a basic bitch. Honestly, that fucking, is it a good mayo, not too spicy? That's it, isn't it, really? Like, you've got to have something that adds something to the dish. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, at least you've got a little bit of flavour there. But then, once again, that's often just, it's not garlic, it's garlic-flavoured mayo. Look, it's fine, honestly. This is one of those things. I'm going to come back to that one because, honestly, I could spend a fucking hour talking about every time the condiment. For me, just, you know, there are some damn good ones. I'm a sriracha for me. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's got the spice that the mustard requires. It's got the flavour. Mustard, often, it just fucking burns your tongue. That English mustard is just like, let's just destroy the playing field and just, we'll prove, because we're English, we have the power, if none of the skill. Okay? Coleman's can shove itself up its own ass. Pineapple on pizza, discuss. Right, pineapple on pizza is not an abomination as some people may think. I'm not saying it's amazing, but what you do get is, when you buy in your cheap corner shop frozen pizza for £1, what you're getting in there is a shit pizza with shit pineapple and shit ham. Yeah? Did you call me a bitch? Oh, preach. There's the opposite, isn't it? Yeah. However, if you spend some money at not a Domino's, not a Pizza Express, none of those ones, at a proper pizzeria where you get proper good ingredients, you get fresh, maybe beer dough, and you get delicious ham, proper ham hock on there, and then the pizza isn't, the pineapple isn't just from a tin. They've cooked some pizza lovingly, they've glazed it. It's a fucking delight. But 95% of you will have only had the corner shop shit. I'm sorry, I'm making quite a harsh judgment on you here. I mean, have any of you had good ham and pineapple? Yeah. You have? From where? I rest my case, my lad. Let that be stricken from the record. Your mid-20s, I cannot remember. Honestly, they were good, bad in many ways, but let me tell you, I lived in a town where mushrooms grew in the town park. What's the original origin of the phrase cheeky monkey? Cheeky monkey! Basically, this is actually from the 1700s, when monkeys were first discovered. Monkeys were first discovered by... anyway, but there was... People were naturally afraid of monkeys. And by people, I mean the British. Everyone else had accepted their existence, but... So discovered means just the British. So it was named after the first man who went up to a monkey. He went up to a monkey like this, and he went, "Ugh," on his cheek, you know, and everyone thought, wow, he's spoken to the native, he's fantastic, and then the monkey ripped his face off. So there we go, that's where the phrase cheeky monkey comes from. Society, fucked. If there was a blackout and widespread looting, what shop would you head to and what would you loot? All right. Good question. M&S. Food, right? I'd have all the fucking Percy pigs. I would start my own shop. And I would trade it for weapons, whatever. Everyone loves a Percy pig now and again, and they don't realise what they've got until they've lost it. And suddenly, when I'm going to the train, I can't pick up a cheeky pack of Percy pigs. It's like, no, there's no trains. There's gone mass looting, they've been destroyed. And I've got all the Percy pigs anyway. So yeah, Percy pigs. And even the various versions of Percy pigs they did. Now we've got two more. And I'm going to fuck off because the internet runs out in a minute. Write in a book of knobhead quotes, or it could be quotes, it could be ducks. Write in a book of knobhead quotes / comments one day. Can you beat mine? Is that an offer? I'm not sure. If there's money involved, I'll beat anything. If you can, I'll get the other half to dance on stage. They're in the doghouse. Oh, now I know who it's from. Okay, this is fine. A book of knobhead quotes and comments. Well, basically anything that's been said by the government in the last, is it 12 years? Is but, okay, I would like whoever said this to give me that quote. Give me that quote because I don't think I can beat it. Was it you? No. I thought it was like, who said this? Who wrote that? And whose other half is in the doghouse? Was it you? Was it you? Come on. Tell me this knobhead quote that you have written down for posterity in your head and will bring up in every argument. Please do tell. Okay. Fucking hell, mate. That is dumb. You never bring up someone else's boyfriend. Because she might bring up your exes. And let me tell you, she knows everything about them. She has stalked them from the minute she clapped eyes on you. She knows every detail. And she will be like, you say something like that, and she goes, and she might just come back with, at least I didn't go out with Lisa, who's got 55 venereal diseases, 12 children by 6 animals, and hasn't had a job since ever. So, next time, don't comment on other past relationships unless you absolutely have to. All right, here we are. You've learned a valuable lesson. And finally, what animal does cube-shaped poops? I thought this was a joke, but I know the wombat does it. I mean, they've written it on there as well, but I knew that. One of the marsupials, any marsupial, trust me, if you spoke to me about any animals, I know all about animals, all right? Every single animal. It's part of my ADHD that I hyper-focus on anything animalistic and animals on them. Anyway, that's enough for me. I've answered your questions. What? It's not enough. Really? I look. Tony's fucking knackered. I tell you, we'll swap sides. He can start talking and I'll just do random gestures. I mean, look, the thing is, I have got material, but I'm not going to... I think, always leave him wanting more, right? And just because you are looking to turn this into an all-nighter, sir, I think it's best if I leave. We can have a conversation. Is that right? It won't be funny. But it'll make you realise that I'm not the comedy god that you think I am. But no, you have been lovely. I knew this at the beginning. I knew this at the beginning, but I'm very cautious about judging people on first impressions, because sometimes you meet someone and you think, they're weird. But then you get to know them a bit more. You think, no. You peel back a layer, you peel back a layer and you think, no, they're lovely. They're lovely. And then you peel back another layer. And you think, they're really weird. But then, who are you to talk? You've just peeled an interpreter. Twice. I've been Dan Mitchell, thank you, good night.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, that was Dan Mitchell. If you want to find him, you can find him at Specaleptic on Twitter or at SpecalepticDan on Instagram. So, before we finish, just want to give a massive thank you. And also, if you want to find me, you'll find me on Richard Newnham stand-up comedy on stand-up comedian on Facebook, or you can find Richard Newnham or Rich Newnham comedy and art on YouTube. Anyway, give a massive round of applause to all your acts tonight. To Juliana Heng, to Sharita, to Chiron Barron, and to your headliner, Dan Mitchell. And I've been Richard Newnham, your MC. Thank you very much. Now get pissed, have a piss, and fuck off now. Good night.